21 grams per tonne gold in an assay and only 2 kilometres from a 1 million ounce deposit. Unity Metals have just dropped their first drilling results from Cambodia, and I want to know if this is actually a real discovery or just a really good press release. I'm Amo, I'm an Australian geologist, and I've been working in the mines in Australia for the past decade. So everything that I talk about in this video is my own geological interpretation of data that is already publicly available. So in saying that, nothing should be used as financial advice. I've actually pulled apart the geology of Unity Metals' flagship asset, and at the very end of this video, I'm going to give my verdict based on my own geological interpretation. So Unity Metals, the ticker UM1, was listed on January the 12th of 2026. It was actually the first IPO on the ASX of 2026, just a fun fact. They raised $8.66 million and the shares are at 20 cents per at listing. They're essentially a small cap gold and copper exploration company looking in Southeast Asia. So the reason that people are actually paying attention to this company is their flagship asset, Ngot, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is situated on like a 112 square kilometre exploration lease, and it's only 2 kilometres from Emerald Resources' Okvau Gold Mine. Now, this is a massive 1.2 million ounce deposit at 1 grams per tonne. Now, being next door to a world-class asset doesn't necessarily mean that you also have a world-class asset, but it does imply that you may be in the same geological neighbourhood, which is an instant thumbs up. The idea is that the same belt that produced Okvau may give us another Okvau just down the road. So the geological story here, it's called an intrusion-related gold system, or an IRGS for short. Now, this is the same deposit style as like Fort Knox or Donlin Creek in the Yukon or Alaska. Both are massive multi-million ounce deposits. And that's exactly what Unity's chasing here. So we got the drill results of 6 holes of 50 of an 8,000 metre diamond drill program. So we don't have a lot yet. But some of the standout results we have are, we got 21.8 grams at a metre. We've got 18.4 grams at half a metre. And then we've also got a whole lot of broader zones at lower grade mineralisation as well. Now, the mineralisation is stacked quartz pyrite pyrite veining from the surface. So if you want me to translate that, that's essentially saying we've got textbook IRGS geology mineralisation, which is what we'd hope to see if we were looking for another Okvau. The mineralogy is consistent, the host rock is consistent, and it really appears to be making geological sense. So stacked vein zones in, multiple veining zones instead of just one thick zone is exactly how a Okvau mine works. So it's what we'd expect to see just south of the mine. So if Unity Metals is seeing the same structural patterns as Okvau, well, that's a second thumbs up. But this is kind of where I put on the cautionary brakes. So first, the reason being is that the widths are quite thin. So you got 1 metre, you got half a metre. These are quite narrow. And although narrow, it doesn't automatically make it bad per se. Because these deposits are actually vein hosted, it means you can have economically viable deposits as long as the grades are continuous and repeatable across the entire deposit. But narrow veins are harder to mine, especially if there's a lot of waste rock or internal dilution between the veins, because it will lower the overall grade. But if the grades are high enough, and as I said, if they are repeatable, well then you're looking at something potentially economically viable. One of my second issues that I have here, and it's not so much an issue, it's more I would rather if the company reported the true widths of the intervals. I at least may have just missed that in the reporting, but as far as I can tell, the true widths weren't mentioned. So the company's reported 1 metre downhole, and whether or not that's true width depends on the drill hole orientation and the vein orientation of the deposit. For vein systems, this makes a massive difference. Third, we still only have 12% of the entire drilling program reported, 6 of 50 holes. So it's very possible that we get some new results coming in soon, which completely change my interpretation of, what's possible. Fourth, worth mentioning are those broader zones of lower grade mineralisation. Now, why the widths haven't really been quantified. In IRGS systems, these do matter, especially if they're close to surface and you're thinking about open pit instead of going underground. So it'd be interesting to see what comes out of that. So just looking at my screen here, we have 2 other prospects worth mentioning. So we've got the Rohav Mountains. We've got 4 holes hit, 20 to 50 metres wide zone of sulfide-rich stockwork veining. So that is genuinely, that's wide. If that's continuous, that is really good stuff. If grades come back with anything meaningful at all, you're talking like bulk tonnage, open pittable sort of material. We also have Srolau, sorry, I can't pronounce that properly. So this one's caught my eye. The previous rock chips at 27.4 grams per tonne gold and 206 grams per tonne silver, 9% lead, 4.4% zinc. So that polymetallic signature is interesting. So artisanal workings extending 600 metres and historical workings of that scale mean real gold is in the ground. It just hasn't been drilled yet. So we'll wait to see what happens there. So here is my true geological verdict. There is a legitimate story here. The IRGS mineralisation is what you'd expect. So it's real. Okvau being adjacent is meaningful. The diorite host rock is correct. The MD has 38 years of experience and have clearly done a lot of field work to date. This is not a company just drilling in a geological vacuum. The first results that have come out, they're encouraging, but they're also not definitive. High-grade gold in the right setting from a maiden program is not nothing. But one assay, 21 grams per tonne at a metre, it needs to have some context around it. How continuous are those veins? How many holes are going to hit those veins? What do the adjacent holes show us? Those pending results at Ngot Central are absolutely critical here. If we get consistent high grades across multiple holes, then this story gets super exciting for investors. If it's sort of patchy and inconsistent, the veins are pinching and swelling, etc., well then it's another conversation altogether. I'm also watching Okvau Mountain, as I mentioned. 50 metres wide stockwork veining with any grade is worth taking a look at. Also worth noting beyond the geology is the jurisdiction of which the setting is in. So Cambodia, it really is an emerging mining jurisdiction. And whilst Emerald has proven that it can be done, permitting, sovereign risk, infrastructure are real factors that are worth thinking about. So going forward, if I were advising the exploration team, which I'm certainly not because I'm not an exploration geologist, I'm a mining geologist, I'd love to see all 10 remaining Ngot Central drill results. And I don't just want to see the composites, I want to see each individual all laid out. I'd also really like to see the true widths, even just rough estimates based on structural observations, orientations that they've seen in I also want to see those Okvau Mountain assays. Those broad sulfide zones with grades attached to it will tell us pretty quickly whether or not we've got bulk tonnage in the play here or not. I'd also like to see a preliminary structural interpretation. I'm not sure if one's been done or not, but that would be really good to include in the next release because then we can start to make more of a story. Can we see consistent vein orientation and dip? Are the holes connecting? So it's very early on at the moment, but the story is quite compelling as a geologist. Everything's geologically sound, so I think it's definitely worth watching this company. Not because they found a deposit, but because the setting and the geology and everything is just aligning to tell a really good story. And geology is often about telling really good stories. And you know what? The stories are even better when it can be backed by real data, which is sort of what we've got here. So that's the geology's verdict on Unity Metals. Promising start, right neighbourhood, but 6 holes out of 50 isn't enough to come to any sort of strong conclusions yet. This is my first video. I feel very awkward doing it. I wanted to report on more ASX mining companies and their releases. So if this is something that you're interested in, please subscribe, give me a like, and hopefully I can improve on these as I go forward in the future.